I tried to walk 10,000 steps every day for a month to see if it would change my body. Last year, I went for my annual checkup with my doctor, and she asked me how much I exercised. I told her I tried. When she noticed the fitness tracker on my wrist, she said, "You should be hitting at least 10,000 steps every day. How many do you I responded, "Somewhere in the 6,000 to 7,000 range." Again, honestly, I was too. In high school, after I graduated, I entered the adult world and started working a 9-to-5 office job. Usually, and then, last summer, I thought that would change, so I gave up. I kept using sometime in the past few months, though, I realized my habits were becoming more unhealthy. I was walking and according to there are a ton of health benefits you can get just from walking on a daily basis. According to adults need at least 2.5 hours of moderate intensity aerobic activity every week. Moderate intensity aerobic activity includes things like pushing a lawnmower, walking quickly, and riding a bike on a flat surface. Most fitness trackers recommend a 10,000 step goal because it equals about 5 miles a day, including 20 minutes of moderate exercise, explains. 10,000 steps is a good goal for most people, but exact fitness goals vary from person to person. Talk to your doctor. Every day for a month, I would try my best to walk 10,000 steps or do the equivalent amount of exercise like biking or taking a bar class. I wouldn't focus on improving other aspects of my health, but if I felt motivated to exercise more or eat healthier, I wouldn't stop myself. Even though I wasn't planning on officially starting the experiment until August 1st, I left on vacation on July 28th, so I started then instead. My boyfriend and I went to Italy for 8 days, and I knew that with all the exploring we were planning to do, we'd be walking a ton. For the first 12 days of the experiment, I didn't struggle at all. I was able to get my 10,000 steps in, no problem. Most days, I was actually really excited about my progress. I felt more confident in my ability to hit 10,000 steps, and I was proud of myself for hitting my goals. When we got back from vacation, I immediately started back at work. Within the first few hours of being back at the office, I realized just how challenging it would be to hit my 10,000 steps. On vacation, I'd usually hit 8,000 steps at lunchtime. Back at work, but I was still confident I could get my steps in, it just might take some extra work. During the second week, I was still motivated to hit my daily goal, even though it was significantly harder than it had been on vacation. By the time the third week rolled around, my motivation was fading fast. I pushed myself to try to hit my 10,000 steps, but it was definitely a struggle. All I wanted to do. During the fourth week, I could feel the experiment coming to an end, and I was really happy about it. I was barely hitting 10,000 steps each day, coming in with numbers like 10,043 and 10,017. It was pretty discouraging to struggle so much with something that had been so easy at the beginning, but it made me realize just how much of an impact having an office job has. By the end of the 30 days, I had walked over 364,000 steps. That's about 182 miles. While it sounds pretty impressive, I can say I successfully completed my goal. Unfortunately, going into the experiment, I thought that adding a few thousand steps each day would be a breeze. I was wrong. I was surprised at how challenging it was to hit 10,000 steps while working at my desk all day. Unfortunately, one of the main reasons I decided to do this experiment was to kickstart myself back to a healthy lifestyle. I don't think that I was hopeful that I would notice some major changes at the end of the month. Weight loss, more definition in my muscles, or more energy. Unfortunately, I am not as interested in my weight as I am in my overall feeling of fitness. but for those of you wondering, I lost exactly 0 pounds. Would I do this again, eyes? I plan on Did it visibly change my body? I didn't lose a single pound on this routine, but that's not really the main goal of walking for exercise. To lose weight, video study exercise makes people happier than money cooking light A. If you plan on starting to walk more, please share this article with your friends and family.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park.